periódico.
Hey, yo, what's up? Hey, yo, what's up?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode.
God.
Does it feel weird watching it here and not on TV? Yeah? Awesome. Guys, we have some guests here today, all the way. I don't have money. Ask for somebody else. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. We have a special episode today. For those who think we are comediante, we're not. Shots
The
fired.
shade.
So we like to go take a serious route every now and then, and today is one of those episodes. Before we jump into the episode,
We want to talk about Satan
why didn't
and their beautiful hybrid plan.
Can you do it like a normal person?
Absolutely. So Satan offers a hybrid plan of just 54 florins when you can get 10 florins of credit and 6 gigabytes. Book Satan right now.
How many?
Take it over,
florins?
Samil.
How many florins? Why do you sound like you always sound like some sort of infomercial at 3 in the morning? You know.
Who cares? Just fucking take it over. Why you always gotta?
All right. Also, if you're watching the show right now, it's currently 7:30 p.m., which means Wendy's is still open. I think until 10 o'clock.
Ooh.
So every single week we give away 2 vouchers of Wendy's. All you have to do is very simple. This current show you're currently watching it on Elite Studios. Make sure you like this page. Oh, here we go. Got some water.
What?
What
We got our own water!
What is this?
Oh my God, we got our own water! I want 2 of these bottles. Ooh,
Yo, what the I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, wait.
Shit.
We're getting distracted.
I'm sorry.
We're getting distracted. All right, guys. So also Wendy's every single week we give away 2 vouchers. All you have to do is very simple. Shark,
They
get
know
ready.
how to do it.
All right. You're currently watching this show on Facebook, which means there's a share button down in the right corner. Do not be a lazy person. It takes you 3 seconds to share this video. So we're gonna give 5 seconds.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, guys, that's it. All right, all you have to do is share this video. You want to win a voucher? Very simple. Click the little share button, share it with your friends, and you participate in a chance to win some vouchers. Last week winners goes out to Emily Timpner. I hope I say your last name right. And Alwin Rasmain. Congratulations, guys. If you know any of these 2 people, please do me a favor. Tag them in this conversation.
Hold
Otherwise,
up. On my phone. Just want to say real quick, if you won this week, make sure you claim your prize by next week. If not, we're finna raffle that thing again. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Continue.
all right, so make sure you tag these people. Also, another giveaway we got going on is Urataka Center. Everybody knows Urataka. Great pizza, great chicken wings. They got some other stuff too, so go check them out. All you have to do is, what?
You just skip me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was
You
like,
always skip me anyways.
it's fine. You always bully me anyway, so. Guys, all you have to do is very simple. I'm currently watching this on my phone, but in about 30 minutes, I'll be taking a selfie with our guest today. I will be posting that picture on our Instagram, No Filter in Paradise on Instagram. Look it up. You'll find a picture of me, Shark, and our guest today, and all you have to do is like that picture and tag 3 people that you want to take to Urataka. Now, it's very important that the people you tag also follow No Filter, because if one of them don't follow, then you don't win. That happened again today. So yeah, Shark can take it over.
So next up, as you can see, me and Samil has this beautiful blue light frame from Sunset Shack.
This shirt is also from Shirt.
I did not ask you that. Like, you had the moment to say this. You did not want to say it.
I'm
Shut
sorry.
the hell up now. Oh my God, I swear to God. Like, you look from my mouth. Jesus. Well, just visit Sunset Shack. They are located at the Paseo Herencia Mall. Go on the Facebook page or Instagram pages so you can see the opening hours. Make sure you head on over to get these beautiful blue lights that can help you and your eyesight at night.
Periódico.
There you go. Guys, also, real quick before we jump into the show,
They can't see that.
oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe. I don't know. I'm looking here. Guys, Elite Studios has this 4 days of sweetness, which means you're currently watching this on the Elite Studios Facebook page. You have to like this page and also make sure you follow them on Instagram. And they have a 4-day raffle. They have Cinnabon rolls from Cinnabon. They have coffees from Juan Valdez. They have another Cinnabon rolls from Cinnabon and also a Halloween ice cream cake.
Ooh.
That means 4 today. Starting today. Today is day 1, so in the next 4 days, there will be a raffle going on. All you have to do is like this page of Elite Studios and follow them on Instagram. And
Elite Studios, not Elite Productions.
Correct.
Because
They're
like
different.
Rubens have like a tendency, like y'all don't like to listen or read. Reading is fundamental.
And
Elite Studios, one more time, just for them to
Elite
know.
Studios
I think
Aruba.
they can't edit now, so it's
No,
too
it's
bad.
not
But Elite
edited.
Studios, which you're watching right now.
Yeah,
you're
you're
live
currently
right now.
watching.
You're watching Elite Studios. That's it.
I also
Thank
forgot
you.
to mention last week's winner from Urutaca Center. Natalia Moreno. I think, is that how you pronounce it?
Natalia Moreno.
Natalia Moreno. Congratulations. You won some pizza from
What about
Urutaca.
t-shirts? You didn't do that. It's okay. Next week. We got y'all next week.
We were on the boat today. I'm sorry.
Don't
I didn't
blame
think
me.
about it.
Don't blame me.
I'm blaming you.
It's okay.
So if anybody knows this girl, please tag her and make sure she won.
This girl.
This girl, Natalia. I don't want to fuck up her name. Natalia. Not Natalia. You know how I butcher names.
It's okay. Let's
All
just.
right? Cool. Anyways, guys, today's show. Remember, we're taking at the. You know what? I was gonna say something about you, but now, you know what? I don't want to be mean today. So, but this is your guest. Please introduce your guest.
Ooh, child. You know me too well. All right, y'all. So this is a very special guest today. We have the baddest House of Curls, you know.
What?
Miss Amish Raymond. Okay, she is the best of the best, and we're gonna have her introduce herself right now. So
Go for it.
yes.
I don't even know where I have to look, but
It's okay. That's
Look.
this is basically yours,
okay.
and then you talk to us also.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
No problem. My name is Misha Raymond, and today I'm not talking about House of Curls, but I'm a child and youth psychologist, and I've been working in that field for like 7 years now. And I am also a infant mental health specialist. And because of the topics today, I think that's why I was invited.
Yes.
So I hope to give you some more information on that.
I mean, we're here to learn, you know? Like,
Exactly.
we all have personal questions as well. And I'm sure like there are things that I want to ask that I'm like we talked before we started rolling. I asked some questions that I'm curious about. So we also asked the people on Instagram, like, you know, like who suffers, like people that suffer from depression. Do you know anybody that suffers from depression and anxiety? Like almost 70% of people said yes. We even asked people like, you know, what are things that you do? How do you deal with depression? And we got a shitload of answers. People are like,
It was
oh,
crazy.
smoking, sex. I'm like drinking. I'm like, yo, we need to talk about this.
Painting, like it was a whole list of things that people do, which is why I'm glad you're here, that we can ask you these type of things, because in my opinion, everything that these people are saying that they do, for some reason I feel like that's what they do to mask the feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't think like you're tackling the depression, you're just hiding it or sweeping it on the
You're
rug and
suppressing
trying to
it.
deal with it later on. So I feel like maybe that's their way of doing it, but I personally, like from my perspective watching it, I don't think that's the way it should be. Like,
Have you ever? Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No.
Well,
man, shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'll shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
and a lot of things you've just that's to cope with the depression itself. But obviously, there's a whole route you would have to take if you want to get the diagnosis. There are specific criteria you would have to follow once you want, clinically you get the depressive diagnosis. And it's different for kids and it's different for teenagers. Would be different for adults as well. I always say teenagers have like a passive right to be a little depressive because it's a very
All the bullying.
but a very challenging time in their lives as well. You have to make a lot of decisions with studies, friendships, relationships. You have to adjust. You're coming into your identity, and so there's a lot of big changes happening. So they almost have a rite of passage. It's a problem where they can't function. So we always look at functioning. can you function within the social environment? Can you function within friendships and relationships? Or are you the whole time in your bedroom on the phone? Or
Oh shit.
um,
Is that you too?
Continue. No, continue.
or have you stopped doing things that you've enjoyed? And
Yeah.
so we have to
Just
take
switch on this
into
mic.
consideration the whole big picture. It's not just um, one or two criteria that you're going to be like, oh, I'm depressed or I have depressive disorder.
You know they can see you, right?
I know. But the comments are saying they can't hear her
You
mic.
look
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
I saw
worst
it.
criminal.
No, because he calls me out a lot, so I gotta call him
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
No, okay. What?
So depression is very broad.
Yeah, yeah.
Lost that from you. But usually what we're looking for are depressive thoughts, and we are a little bit more, we're more alert for kids and teens who say they're depressed because you also have suicidal thoughts. And once there are suicidal thoughts, we have to keep monitoring them before it becomes plans,
Is
and
that
before
a-
they actually do something from an impulsive nature.
Is that a big thing? Like, do you have, I mean, obviously this might be a.
2 seconds. Can y'all hear her now?
So all of that,
They can?
can.
Sorry, because I'm
they're
like trying to see here. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. You know,
Yeah.
we want to make sure you guys get this info.
Some of them are still saying no.
Some people are saying no.
Testing.
Live streams ain't so easy.
I am not singing.
Okay, now yes. Now yeah.
Okay.
All right, we good. Because my question was gonna be like you were just mentioning, there's like a lot of suicide thoughts in teenagers. Like, is that I don't know, maybe it's a private question. Like, is this a big issue in Aruba? Do you have a lot of kids like?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the majority, like 2/3 of the teens that are referred to us, do report suicidal thoughts. Of course, we are alert if it becomes planned, and of course, if they've tried something in the past. But I would
That's
say
crazy.
2/3 of teens report suicidal thoughts.
That's
The ones who are admitted to us, no?
yeah.
Remember, well, we're dealing with a specific group. It's not the whole population or
No, of course not.
every teen, but every teen that is referred to us for psychological help or psychiatric help, they do report in some kind of nature to have had these thoughts or are having these thoughts.
What's the demographic of kids? Like, what's the age like from?
We see kids from 0 to 18, maybe 19, 20. Depends if they've been with us before they became 18. And because of my specialty, me and another colleague or two other colleagues, we have a specialty with kids from 0 to 5. We also see pregnant women.
Like at a young age.
No, just in general, if there are pregnant women who have peculiar thoughts about their unborn child, where you're worried about their attachment with a baby, they are also referred to us.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, are you okay?
Yeah, wait. Like some of them are still having. Are they fixing it?
Guys, we just want to make sure everybody. Guys,
Yeah, I want to make sure because they're saying that her mic is lower than ours.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it's good for you. Maybe it's I don't know. I'm trying to see. Okay, so Shay just said it's good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw Jesse Tech, Anthony. Hey, also, big, this is a little off topic. Hey, I want to give a happy birthday shout out to Spike. Today is his birthday.
Ow, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'm not sure what he's doing this weekend, but you better tell me. You better let me know. I need to know. I need to do something. I'm going crazy. All right, so what do you feel like, so all these kids and teenagers that you've dealt with, what for you is like one cause of like depression? Like, what's the main thing?
Yeah, it goes. It's a little bit more complicated than that.
Here we go. Yeah.
No, because like, how much time do we have?
Oh,
But,
we have like 50 minutes.
Everybody can be susceptible to developing depression,
Okay.
but it's an interaction of factors. And one of the main factors are stress and your environment. If you are being brought up in a very stressful environment, the chances of turning on your susceptibility to depression are heightened. There's a very big study that was conducted in San Diego in the early 90s. It's called the ACE study.
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. And the ACE study is adverse childhood experiences, and they've literally correlated like diseases at an older age, like heart diseases, lung diseases, things that are caused by stress mainly, but a lot of medical factors. They literally correlated that to early childhood stress or traumatic events. And one of them is also what we call psychopathology, is like being susceptible to develop psychiatric problems. And ACEs include like a stressful environment, which is domestic violence, or if a parent has substance abuse, or they've been to prison, or financial disparities, like they are poor. And those are stress factors that could add to the development of certain psychiatric problems, including depression.
Makes sense.
So they've reported like if you have 4 or more ACEs, the chances of developing one of these disorders or diseases is like increased by tenfold. And if you have 6 ACEs, it means that your life expectancy is shortened with 20 years. So stress has a very big impact on
Hey, listen, it's a good
your
thing you live
health.
on one happy island.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is also as well, a lot of kids are reported or referred to us with attentional or hyperactivity problems or depressive problems like mood swings and stuff like that. And very rarely they take a look at trauma, like what have these kids been through and what are they dealing with. A lot of kids, when they have a household where their parents cannot or they fail to actually parent them, they have to step up to the plate. So you have 8, 9-year-olds actually acting like little parents. So they are parentified.
It's true. I had that with my cousins, some of my cousins.
Yeah, so what happens is they forget that they're kids and their development is stagnated. So they don't develop accordingly.
Yeah.
So they miss a lot of childhood experiences that are essential for their development, basically. But that's what we see a lot with depressive teens, and the stress and environment and friendships and social this and social that. A lot of teens that struggle with their identity, whether they are bisexual or LGBTQ community, they struggle a lot with that. And that could lead them also to depressive symptoms and thoughts. But it comes down to the thoughts. And I think that is one of the major differences between anxiety and depression are your thoughts. So I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Let's say.
Did not see this coming. I'm like, what? Do I suffer from depression?
No,
Is my
just
dad
to
watching?
show
I
you
hope
like, just to show you like a difference. So let's say you're walking down the road and you see this big, huge black dog running towards you. What happens next?
I'm running. I am gone.
I was thinking, like, I don't know. But
A big,
it's
huge
barking
black
and-
dog.
If it's barking,
It can be playing. I'm gone. I'm done. No.
what do you mean?
But you've mentioned something very essential. So you run. Why do you run?
Because it's coming towards me. I'm scared.
No,
Like,
I mean, but
no.
it's because your brain starts thinking like the most.
it's coming to attack you.
I don't want to
It's the
say
wor-
fucked up things, but like the most worst case scenario, you start thinking
Exactly.
about like it's gonna bite me, it's gonna
Yeah,
rip my arm off.
Exactly.
Is it
So you've mentioned the key components to what would lead to therapy, but you've mentioned the key components to cognitive behavior therapy. So there's something that happens, it is een gebeurtenis.
Yeah.
And that is a big black dog running towards you. It leads to a thought, it's gonna bite me. And that leads to a feeling, I am scared, which leads to a behavior, I am running. But let's say if you thought, this dog wants to play with me, would you still run or would you run towards the dog?
Then you would.
I mean,
it makes
you would
sense.
stay, but like for
I
me,
would-
it's mostly like I've also been traumatized as a kid.
Yeah.
Like not a kid, actually, like 2 or 3 years ago. Somebody's dog, my stepsister's dog, came to our house and he had like a little chihuahua. What is wrong with you? Stop doing drugs, I told you. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Damn.
Anyways, so like one of my, she has like a big bull mastiff and we had like 2 chihuahuas at home.
Yeah.
And I think my chihuahua was barking. So I'm like, hey, shut up. Like the bark is annoying. Next thing I know, this bull mastiff is just killing this dog.
Yeah.
Like grabs my dog and I'm just standing there. I'm trying to get her out. Like all I'm hearing is screaming and screaming. And I'm like,
Same.
went to my sister like, yo, your dog is killing my dog.
Yeah.
And I remember like I'm leaving and I went to Gusto and started taking shots because I was shaking. I didn't know
Yeah.
what. So ever since then, I've been kind of scared of dogs. And like
Sam.
my own dog, I'm scared of walking with
Yeah.
her
But your anxiety towards dogs serves a purpose.
like, it's
Because your
defensive.
experience has taught you that
Yeah.
dogs are dangerous and they will kill other
I
dogs.
mean, I wouldn't say dangerous. More like I can't predict what's gonna happen. Like if I took my dog, like is my dog gonna bite you? I don't know. You saw my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fucking wild.
Yeah.
The story wasn't really about dogs.
But no, I get it. But the idea is like is you're traumatized, and then
Yeah, I get it though.
guys,
I can
enjoy the
It
show.
was a
I'm out of
metaphor.
here.
I love you though, but like
Yeah. But what we
How did
always
you-
tell,
How did you get this?
Who cares?
it's funny.
This
I
is
don't mind.
fabulous. Don't
I'm gonna
drink
even open it. I'm
Don't-
gonna open
I'm
it.
taking it.
All right, sorry, continue.
But what we always say is we cannot change a feeling, or we can't change what happened, and we can't change what by nature you would do to react, because you have to save yourself. If the dog is coming to attack you and you think you're going to die, you have to run. But what we can do is challenge thoughts. So we challenge thoughts, like to experiment to see if that's exactly the case, what's going to happen, or if that is the case, then you would have acted accordingly. And if it's not the case, then you have a heightened anxiety that is not compatible with the situation. And we also have depressive thoughts. And depressive thoughts would be like, oh, the dog is not even going to come towards me because I'm not good enough. And those
What the
thoughts
fuck?
would
Oh,
depict,
wow.
like those thoughts would depict the feeling and a behavior like just standing there and let the dog do its thing. So thoughts are very powerful, and it could depict your feeling and your behavior and how you set yourself up in an environment as well. So that I think that's the main difference. Of course, you have a classification that we apply to see where it would fall. And technically, a lot of disorders have a very similar underlying mechanism. But it comes down to the key differences that would lead to the best approach in therapy.
Wow. I'm like shook it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's like just like with the few episodes we had before. Like whenever it has a serious topic, we're always like quiet and like,
Yeah, I'm like in it.
yo,
I'm
just
sorry.
keep sit talk the whole hour. We're
Yeah.
listening because we're learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to know, like, if you're someone, like, I know, like, y'all gonna comment also, but like people that suffer from anxiety, what do they feel? Like, how do I know I've been in a situation
Yeah.
where I've been anxious or like
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm anxiety?
Well, I think a lot of people underestimate how scary it is to have anxiety. And literally, we've had kids that we would have to go to them at their houses because they would not leave their room because they literally think everything's going to happen as soon as they leave the door.
Oh, whoa.
And it's not only dysfunctional on a behavioral level, but it's also dysfunctional on a developmental, psychological, cognitive level, because you're literally not having experiences that you should have. These kids stop going to school. They don't have any friends. They don't apply themselves in a social context that would aid them to better prepare them for society. Yeah. Everything has to do with society. Like, you would see someone is anxious or not exactly according to the norm because of the cultural and societal expectations we have of each other. Like, if someone would be the whole day in their room, maybe in a different part of the world it's not weird, but for us it would be like, que pasaba, what estranho, like, get out of your room. But maybe in a different part of the world, being in your room 24/7 is just normal life. So it also has that social, cultural expectation to it. But yeah, we do see a lot of kids who suffer from anxiety, and anxiety brings about other problems because they also very rarely can differentiate between what is normal arousal, like what is just, because stress is needed. Yeah. If I didn't have stress, I wouldn't finish any project in my life. If I didn't feel stressed,
I'll do it next time.
I am a deep procrastinator. So if you didn't feel stressed, I wouldn't be here on time. Or I wouldn't feel like, I would be in here tomorrow and like, Shark, where are you?
Yeah.
So like, you need to feel stressed to produce and to do stuff. The problem is when you have stress levels that are heightened and it does not fit within the rationale or the context of the environment or what is happening. So you would feel anxiety everywhere you go, and like you're very alert. You cannot differentiate between what is normal heart palpitations and what is normal to be like sweaty and a little nervous, and what if you're feeling that every little time and every little second. And it could lead to panic attacks. And I don't know if you've had a panic attack, but that
I don't
is
think I have.
scary.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Like people literally think they're dying. Like they think their time has
I almost
come.
had it with the snakes.
Oh yeah, no.
But it didn't get like that.
No,
that thing.
Snakes.
But I was like,
I thought you were joking. I'm not joking.
no, at a certain point, I'm not gonna lie. At a certain point, like when the snake was coming,
Shark, honey, snakes, I'm gone.
no, like
No,
they
but
locked me in
that-
a cage
no,
in Philip with 3 pythons.
Oh,
we
no.
literally locked them.
And I was like, first I was like, okay, whatever.
Sorry.
But when I saw the snake legit coming and the black python just kept watching me shit in my face, I was like, okay, like this shit is getting real. And then Philip's on the phone, like booking reservations for tours. And I'm like, yo, somebody open this thing. Like I really was getting like, okay, I can't breathe correctly anymore. So when that gate opened up, I was like,
Guys, we actually have that on video. If you guys want us to release it,
Really,
like
Samuel?
this video right now. I'm watching.
I have
Start
a
liking.
special request. I want to see it. So
There you go. If you want me to release that video,
It
Shark
was
in the Cage with
awful.
Snakes, like the
Same.
video. Let's go.
And the problem with panic attacks is once you've had it,
Oh,
the
shit.
fear of having it again is much worse than the actual panic attack. So they start avoiding going to places where they think like there will be a lot
Because-
of people, or because they don't want people to see they're having a panic attack.
Yeah.
So they're driving themselves crazy, and without having an actual panic attack. So that is also you have different sorts of anxieties and phobias, but that is one of the most reported symptom you get, like panic attacks.
I saw that on I was watching The Real Housewives of Potomac, and one of the girls, shut the hell up.
I was like,
One of the
I thought it was
girls,
a real thing.
like it's real life, but she was like super anxious to come out with a baby. Like she
Yeah.
was like, no,
Same.
everything bad can happen to the child. Like
Same,
she
same.
would just want to stay inside.
And when it comes to exactly those kind of moms who have babies but are anxious to just flow into motherhood, we also get involved because babies are the most susceptible to changes in their environment and stress because their brain is developing so fast at a rapid tempo at such a young age. Like, could you imagine? Like a 2-year-old needs to learn how to talk, and before that, walk and make friends and play and accord this and that. And a
Go to
parent
sleep
has a
on
whole
time.
day in their face, like, can you do this? Can you do that? But also, the pressure is on for 2-year-olds.
I never
And-
thought about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the kid won't remember, you know.
Nah.
No, but I mean, it's a process going
Same.
on.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of different things
Same.
for real
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
forcing this kid to do. So.
And up until 2 years, your brain is making like 700 to like 1,000 connections per second, like forming and taking in everything, like the lights and the colors and the people. And then after, like between the years 3 and 5, the brain is going to prune the connections. Like it's only going to keep those connections that are essential for your survival. But if you're not being given the opportunity to form connections in the early years, what is your brain going to prune? Because then there will be little to work with, and they're going to prune away that little bit that they have. That's why the worst abuse is neglect. If a child is being neglected to experiences, to people, to relationships, because it wouldn't form those connections that would help the kid to specialize what is being needed and used for the
Let me
environment.
see if my dad's watching this show.
No pun intended. This is not for parents.
The shade.
No,
Okay,
I
but
mean,
since you brought
I'm
that
gonna need
up,
a
Whoa.
disclaimer.
since you brought this up,
I'm scared to where you're going with this.
I just want to know, like, how important is it for people that suffer from, like, or they don't think that they suffer from a depression, but how important is it to, like, seek help, like, to
Yeah.
go to a therapist? Because
Well, as I said in the beginning, it depends on your
Fucking, I
functioning.
knew you're gonna look like
And
that.
it depends on your functioning. If you don't have a problem with it, who am I to tell you have a problem with it? If you have a problem with it, that would be a motivation to seek help.
But then how do you know you have a problem? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe for me, I'm like,
Speak up, baby boy.
See,
Because
and
we had this conversation.
I
We've
know,
had
that's
this
why I
conversation.
speak up. This is your time. I want you to.
So everybody's gonna watch my therapy session right now.
I charge by the hour.
Wow. Well, you know, there's some water. Deduct that from the price. You want some Wendy's vouchers? Guys, share the video to win some Wendy's. No, I
but-
mean, like,
yeah.
how do you know? You know, like, for example, like we were talking about it. In my mind, I'm
Same.
like, I'm totally okay with this.
Same.
And they're like, no, you have to go see a fucking therapist.
But do you tell him you need to see a therapist because of your social expectation and norms of who's a social person?
No, I
No.
tell him that because of, like, how he feels when he drinks a certain amount. His real feelings come out.
Wait.
I'm just saying, Sam.
What did you just? Okay, hold up. No, I wasn't even drinking that day. I had like 2 fucking drinks.
No, but you opened up to us about when
I
you
did,
do
I,
drink.
no, I did say like whenever I drink excessively, like I say excessively is, you know, whatever. Fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah, but alcohol heightens emotions.
Of course,
huh?
and then
Yeah.
like I remember there's like I can count like 3 times in my life I have like completely burst out crying. The last time was like on my 30th birthday. Like I remember like I left at my party and then like I was calling my
Same.
friend on the phone
See,
and he's far away and I'm like
yeah.
so
Well,
like
yeah,
I mean, that means I mean, obviously I have issues from a young age. I think, like on the disclaimer, or not disclaimer, like my mom did pass away when I was 18. So that's also an issue that I've been dealing with.
Yeah.
Because I was like mama's boy, die hard.
Yeah.
That's why whenever he said like, "All right, but mom, oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Stop.
You always say no, but it's, I mean,
You're gonna make people
Yeah,
hate
but
me.
this is
I call it
the-
the mom bomb.
Yeah, this is a usual turn when I give. No, but I mean, look,
This is a free
everybody.
session, right?
Yeah,
Just want to make
this
sure.
is a free session.
Okay, good. I don't got money.
Yeah, but I always go back. Look, you cannot change the past, and a lot you cannot control. Absolutely not. And everybody has something in their past that haunts them or is part of them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing also it's a 2-year opleiding of longer than that actually. It's called systeemtherapeut. And then you deal with the whole family. I usually
Like some sort
never see just the kid or the teen. I see the whole
Some
system.
sort of, is it like an intervention thing?
It's not an intervention, but
You
I-
will
It's
not-
like a family
you will
session.
It's a
not-
family
You will
session.
not catch me like that in a room with my dad and everybody else.
But
Maybe
that-
with my
but-
sister.
But that's the thing.
My sister,
No,
yeah.
but that's the thing. Therapy happens when everybody's in the room.
Thank you.
I know, but what if you've already approached, like, what if I've already had this conversation with this person?
You had the conversation, but did you like take the step, like
Yeah.
in therapy as a family?
Yeah.
Because all of you had the same loss. All of you lost your mom, but it wasn't
Okay.
just you.
No, I get
so then,
But in my mind, I'm like, if I'm reaching out to you, like,
Yeah.
personally, and I'm explaining to you, and not that you don't give a shit, but it's more like it
No,
didn't
I do
change-
give a shit. I
No, no,
really do.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general, this person.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm explaining, hey, these are my emotions, this is what
Same.
I'm feeling, but
Same.
there is no change. Then I'm like, you know what? If you don't give a fuck, then I don't give a fuck.
Same,
So-
same.
but maybe that's how they cope with the situation for themselves. Like they maybe you are willing to open up and talk about it, but then that person is like, they also had a loss and they probably don't want to deal like that's how they deal with it by not dealing with it.
You cannot be separated from your family system. You can run from it, but you cannot be separated from it. And it's exactly that. Everybody has experienced certain loss or traumas in a family system. And it's not about your personal story, it's about the family story. Because it is een levensverhaal, it's your life story. And you can tweak it and put a different filter on it, but it's always going to be your family story. And therapy happens when everybody's in the room. And believe me, those are the most, to me, I think any family therapist will tell you, the most anxious sessions because there's a lot going on. Like there's a lot nonverbal communication. I've had families come in with fathers who were physically abusive to the extent where you're like, I need to call the police. What's up? But it wouldn't serve nobody if I lost the dad in the whole process because he's as important as well.
The key part.
And everybody has an emotional need. I don't care if you're 50 or 3, everybody has an emotional need. So when you're in the room, you have to divert your attention and energy to everybody in the room's needs. Like sometimes, sometimes a kid, and kid is aangemelde cliënt, that's a referred client. But when you're in a room with a family, you see very easily who takes over. I've had kids come in with depression and cutting and suicidal thoughts. And every time I have a family session, the dad is the only one talking. And then I would be like, so tell me a little bit about you. And then a whole story comes about their own upbringing. And kids start to see and understand their parents a little differently. But definitely because think about it. There's no such thing as a baby. There's always a baby in their environment, people around them, and being taken care of, where they grow up, value, norms, expectations. Everything is being imprinted in the kid. And how do you deal with life events? Because everybody has life events. It's very crucial to how you pick it up as a family. And if you're not able to do that, it is also very indicative that how do you cope? How do you cope with loss? And it could be very confrontational and it could be painful. I always tell people who come in with trauma, I usually see kids who've been sexually abused. So it's trauma that's been going on for a very long time. And it is scary how many referrals we get from kids who are being sexually abused. And what we usually see is the heightened fear in them being in a room that is basically quote unquote safe. Because they might have been abused a few years back, but the fear is real. And I always say there's no scarier thing than your mind. Because your mind can take you places.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your mind can take you places that Disney World has nothing on that. Like all those dancing teacups, it has nothing on that. So, and the mind is a very scary place. And I do see adults now and then, but I have a very attachment-based approach. So even if you come in as a 13, 33-year-old, 53-year-old, I always approach you from your basic emotional attachment needs. And That's where you make the connection. That's where you have room for therapy. Because everybody wants to feel heard, seen, valued, respected, acknowledged. And once you have that, despite how crazy the person past might be, that's room for therapy. Drop the mic.
In my mind, there's a question. You just keep popping these waters.
I love it.
We have a...
I thank
What
you.
do you
I love
fabrique
it.
atrás de algo?
I love it.
Thank you.
Elias Studios now has a printing company too. Hey, print
It's,
me
a,
what
it's
you
for
want.
the free sessions.
I know.
It's making up
You
for
can
it.
keep it.
It's making up.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna ask like,
You see, sorry, Leah just joined. Leah, let your mom see.
Hi,
Who's
Boo.
Leah?
It's my sister.
oh
My
shit.
Xbox.
No, I was gonna ask like, it was more towards you or even yourself. Like, have you? No, it's like,
Oh,
I guess have you ever suffered like from depression or feel like you've been depressed or
me, yeah.
yeah,
I
even
think we
till
all
this day.
have.
I don't. It was for me. It was very. I always try to like push myself out of that type of like mindset.
Yeah.
But it did happen to me like a few years ago. Like when I used to work like a certain job, and I was like, I would come to work every single day, cry. Like from the time I go into my car, I would cry all the way to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Wipe my tears and then come out and just go to work, be happy. I'm known for being the happy person.
Yeah.
So we're like always those people that we're not allowed to have like bad days or something. Because I was like, what's wrong with you? Come
That's
on,
like-
shake it off. And so you're like, nah. So I always like play it off. But like it was so depressing because like at the job, like it was a thing where they were like, shit can happen for you, but it probably can't because of how I felt that then, or what has been told to me by other people. It's because of how flamboyant I am. And so I try to like change for like a few months. I was like, okay, walking straighter at work. I was like trying to act way more straight. Like I
I'm
swear to
like,
God,
what?
I was acting.
My
way
first
more
thought was like you
straight.
walking on the beach like you're a
No,
mom.
no. I like legit try to cut out everything just to like be good for the good enough
be
for the
who
job.
you're not.
Exactly. I was
Be
trying to
who
be
you're
who
not.
they want me to be.
See.
And like that is what had me like legit bawling my eyes out. And then I would finish work, I would sit in the car and I just cry, and I'm like, okay, let's go
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
And I couldn't talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
It was weird. I had this one friend. I was gonna like that's the only person I called. I was like, hey, it was one day I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, hey, like I was crying. He was like, are you crying? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, well, I'm playing a game right now. When I'm done, then
I'll come over.
we can talk. I was like, you know what, fuck you. First of all, I don't cry, I don't do this type of thing. So if I open up and then you're gonna tell me you're playing a fucking game,
Yeah.
I was like, nah, fuck that. So after that is when I was like, okay, you know what? Snap the fuck out of this shit. This is not who you are. I came to reality like, okay, this is never gonna be like a certain way for me. So I'm not gonna like try to be whoever they want me to be. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck
Be
it.
just be yourself.
I
yeah.
am who I am.
That's it.
It's not gonna happen for me. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking is because, like, even for myself and for you, like, we're always two happy people. Always, anywhere we go to, we're like, that's happy. Hey, what's going on? Hey, blah, blah, blah. We're always
Lit up the party, lit
life
up
of
the
the
party.
party. And then they probably think, oh, these guys must be living the fucking life,
Same.
like super happy,
Same.
never a bad day. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like super insecure.
yeah,
I'm dealing with certain shit that people don't see unless I start drinking excessively.
But the thing is, when
and shit goes through the fucking roof like a bottle of champagne.
Thursdays and Fridays, I have space for free sessions. No.
We'll do it over lunch. I'll buy you lunch.
Tomorrow.
Wendy's
vouchers,
voucher.
yeah.
Thank you, Wendy's, sponsoring my therapy session. But they were told me like you should see a therapist. I'm like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually went to one when my mom passed away. My dad sent me, and then I remember like halfway through, I was like, why the fuck am I sitting in here? Like this lady who knows nothing about me, nothing about my life, is telling me how I should live. Like, you know what? I just said it for 1 hour. Thank you. I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
And I told my dad, if you ever send me again,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stay here.
Yeah. Well, there's a general belief that I cannot change nobody. I can't change people at all. And you have to believe that people already know what should happen. But confronting what should happen and actually speaking out those thoughts, that could be a scary process in itself. But could you imagine when you have teens and kids who are struggling with themselves
Identities
and they
and-
have to act a certain way because mom said so, dad said so, and society expects it, and that? Because kids come in the room and beside they're literally, you could see they're depressed, like they're closed off and they want to talk. And they've given up. And I usually start about music, and my taste in music is pretty juvenile. So I talk about music, and I talk about the things and the likes and the don't likes, form a connection, make a bond, talk, let's see what it's all about. And then we get to the deep stuff. And then we get to but I don't know how to tell them, mom, bijvoorbeeld, I'm into girls or into guys. Or, I don't know. Okay. But what would you want me to help you with? How can I help you tell your mom this part? And because you're still going to have to do it. I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
So how do you build someone up like that? And what you usually see is that's when the depression kind of gets its seeds. Like
I feel that.
like not knowing how to act. Present yourself and going absolutely against who you authentically are. And I see that a lot in teenagers. So it's definitely relatable, what you're saying right now.
I have people asking, as an upcoming social.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you deal with? So people are asking, how do you deal with everything you hear? Like, how do you go home and sit like?
Shit.
You have like,
No, I'm
do you
not
have like a
gonna
bar?
lie.
at
Is it
home?
red wine?
No, I'm not gonna. No, whiskey. I'm not gonna lie.
We're going to 7 West after. You want to come and have?
No, I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, it was pretty hard, especially with younger kids, and it goes from just anxiety to deep-rooted trauma, and kids who honestly believe they are not worth it. There in the beginning there were more cases. I'm also part of a kindermishandelingscommissie in the ziekenhuis, so we get all the reports and we talk about them. So in the beginning it was hard because you take your work home. You think and you think, and after a while, when you do give therapy and you see how they come out of it and literally they blossom in front of your eyes, it gives you hope. It gives you hope. It definitely does. But I have to admit, I also have a family system that makes sure, like when they call me, it's a joke this and a joke that, and we have fun. And I have a brother and a sister who are quote unquote.
Hey, they're watching right now.
Brother and sisters who are quote unquote crazy.
That entire family is lit.
Like you would think we are the epitome of ADHD. Like everybody is talking and laughing and this and that. My brother is teasing, my sister socializes with everybody, Leah socializes, everybody's like, it helps a lot. And believe it or not, when I'm in my free time, I like to surround myself with kids. Because I find kids bring you back to the here and now. Like Leah's daughter,
Your
Jade.
niece adores you.
Like my sister was like, when she was pregnant, my other sister, she's like, what if she loves you more than she does me? I was like, it's probably gonna happen. So let's talk about it. And I love like just hearing them laugh, and they bring my attention to the most crazy things like Jade always asks me like, she once asked me like, why do turtles have like these big shells? I was like, I have no clue. She's like, they have to carry their houses. I was like,
what?
You're onto something. Like, yeah.
I didn't watch it that way.
And I was like, that's why they're so slow. Like it's heavy to carry their houses. But those are the little insights that it makes my day, and I think about those things. But surround yourself with what makes you happy in the here and now. Because we have a lot to think about of the past, and we make, especially now with the COVID, we're thinking about things in the future, and we will make it, yes or no, what's going to happen. And it's very unsure times. And when there's unsure times, make sure you surround yourself with things or people that bring you and like center you, ground you. I always paint the little, like an anchor, like what anchors you.
Anchor,
what
just
anchors you.
Hold you that, but like put
Exactly.
like a flag in the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
Like feel grounded. Like what makes you feel
like
grounded.
a rock, or whatever you want to call it.
Anything.
Yeah.
So definitely, shout out to my family.
your
They
sister's
know.
watching.
They see. And especially my mom, so she's probably gonna scour Google and Facebook for that paradise thing because she wants to see me online.
There's no filter in paradise.
Yeah, no, give it up. So, but some people who, any little thing I do, they're proud and they want to talk and they want to find out, and making sure that you know you're valued and you're important to them. It doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
They always make sure to call me at the end of the day. How was your day? Tell me a little bit about those cases that stick in your mind. I was like, okay, anonymously, of
It's
course.
also like a release for you as well.
It's definitely a release.
I feel like that's something that a lot of people in Aruba's family is missing. That like the caring, the loving, like, hey, how was your day?
Open conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like in general, there's what it is. I feel like also, well, with my family, it's like that. It's
I don't wanna
like
throw my family on the bus,
families.
like-
It's fuck it. It's no
Yeah, I
filter
know,
paradise.
I know.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Sorry, family.
My dad's gonna be like, so, what were you saying? about
Sorry.
me on the show.
But like,
Disclaimer.
fuck it. But like
Yeah.
with my family, we grew up with like, my mom does not approve of the way I live, where I post every fucking thing. Like, I'm a social
Really?
media girl. Like I post shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah, be-
She
like, be
is. My mom
inappropriate in front of
is
kids.
like they come from a time where everything is like private.
Yeah.
So if somebody got pregnant, you keep that shit private for
Yeah.
as long as
As
you
you
can.
can.
See.
Family secrets are family secrets.
Nuh-uh.
And it's so different. It's so weird because like I think I don't blame her for that because that's how she got raised.
Yeah.
But it created a thing where me and my sisters, we don't have that like thing where I can be as open like how I am here or with my friends. I can't be that open with my sister. So when I get home, it's like a whole different vibe because it's like, okay, we don't have those conversations, you know? It's just like
See. Yeah,
should
but
use some good
there's a reason. Besides, there's a reason to advocate to be your authentic self. I remember myself when I was in Holland a few years back, and I used to relax my hair. Like I used to have bone straight hair, and I remember at some certain point in Holland, all these girls walking with curls. And I know I have curls. I mean, I'm not blind. I relax
Well,
for a
what do you
reason.
mean?
So I remember all these girls with all these curls. I was like, I want that as well. And I remember my sister just moved to Holland, Sinara, the other sister, and she was like, let's just chop off our hair. But that is a big thing to do,
Oh, wow.
the big chop. And my sister was like, I don't think we can do it. I went in the room and took a scissors and started cutting my hair. And my sister's like, oh, snap. You snapped. Like, I'm going to help you. Like, stop. And I was like, yeah, just cut a little in the back, cut a little in the front. So, and I did the big chop. And I have to, and I remember my mom,
Freaking out.
she called me on Skype and she's like, what happened? I didn't want to talk. Is there something wrong?
Oh my
I was like,
God.
no. She's like, you can be honest with me. Do I have to come to Holland? Are you depressed? I'm like, no, I just cut my hair. And from that moment on, I have been unapologetically myself with my hair, especially when you go to,
Me too.
to go for a job interview or.
you should have been
It's,
for a few years ago.
But it's something about getting connected to who you are and being your authentic self that kind of buffers you for life.
it's not easy though.
No, it's not. It's not easy.
It's not.
And we always try, especially in therapies that I do with, say, teenagers, try to find that one thing that makes you different. Try to connect with what makes you different. Because if we were all the same, it would be boring. and I thoroughly enjoy my work. I really do. I enjoy talking to kids, talking to teens. I enjoy the good moments. I enjoy the not so good moments. I enjoy the stories. Because at some point, you have to be humble that people allow you to see something so difficult and something so sad about them. And you have to be honored to be invited into their
Exactly.
stories. So I go to work very humbly and I take in these stories and you try to help families and kids every day. But I love it.
And like, how do you deal with like, or what type of advice would you have for like students that go like from here where everyone knows each other, yada yada yada, and then they go to study in Holland with this depressing weather, which from what I've heard from a lot of people is that when you go to Holland, it's a whole different ballgame. It is like
Shaq,
it's
9
all
years.
it's
I've
your-
been in Holland 9 years.
You're independent. Everybody that you came with, like y'all don't have time for each other anymore.
Sí.
Like that, like you are on your own right
Sí,
now,
sí.
and that can get like really depressing. So, like, what type of advice can you give to like
Sí,
the young students
sí.
going abroad
Well,
to do this?
I think it's been a lifelong problem where a lot of students either come back or they don't make it in Holland. Because
They jump in front of trains, like
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't want
bad.
to say it, but shit.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
I
it's
was just
bad,
like, yo,
it's
they
bad.
like during winter time.
Yeah, it's bad. And you have to buffer yourself up for the reality of what is literally being thrown to the world and out there. Because you're very pampered here. Like, we're pampered.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Extremely.
until the day of today, my mom was like, I made you breakfast. I mean, Mom, I just need coffee. Like, that's how I eat coffee.
Oh shit, that doesn't exist in my house. Hey, how sa ating way It's like shit.
But we are very pampered. And I remember like being in Holland, and before I left for Holland, I went through something very traumatic. I lost someone to an accident. So that happened. I think like a month later, I had to be in Holland.
Shit.
And my mom was super worried. She's like, what are you going to do? But it's finding your way around and learn how to be independent and take the bus and take the trams and the trains and try to be independent in a way that be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable alone. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's going to happen a lot, especially if you're going to be at school and everybody is speaking this Dutch on another level. It's like alien talk.
Exactly.
And they're like, hello.
Yeah.
But and try to find a way to accommodate and be a chameleon, because we are so much more versatile than we think. We are much more stronger than we think. We survive in very different circumstances, and we do go out there and use the fact that you have a system or buffer or friends, or use that to your advantage. When I was in Holland, I had my friends from here, but I also mingled with people from Holland, Morocco, Cape Verde, every culture imaginable, because you get a sense, like a world sense as well.
Yeah.
And that buffers you for everything that could come your way. You're invited to different cultures and parties and
That's super cool.
foods and you take that with you. It
Mentality.
cultures you in a different way, and your mentality. There's so much more, but I did decide to come back because I am an island girl. So you stay true to yourself. And I always said, I'm not going to study what I studied and do what I do just to help abroad and not help our kids, because help is needed everywhere. And if you can mean something back to your own community. I boarded that plane without my diploma. I was with my brothers in Holland. I was like, yeah, pass to the university, pick up my diploma, I'll send it. Because I was that set on coming back. And now I've been here 7 years. I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind going back, but there will always be something that pulls me back to the island. So definitely buffer yourself up.
Damn.
I mean, we're currently reaching the end.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, we ask most of our guests because we can go deeper in this conversation 100%. We didn't even cover the things I wrote down at all.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you're willing to come again on the show for like a second more.
If there's this water,
this fucking label.
And we'll have it cold.
rubber duckies, everybody. Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
if you guys want to see a part 2, please comment part 2 so we know, or like the
So-
video, whatever it is, just comment part 2. Any final thought? Actually, I had one thing. Where in Aruba can people find help? That's what I want to know.
Yes. If you want help by us, I work at Respaldo.
Yeah.
You would have to come with a referral from your huisarts, your doctor, Dr. Dicas. Kids can be referred from 12 on without, they can accept help from 12 and on without their parents, but they can come with 18, or 16, sorry. They can come with 16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, 16. But you have to come with a referral from your huisarts. So it has to go via AZV.
Yeah.
And then you can find us at Respaldo, behind the airport. There's a
Okay.
big building, Respaldo.
All right, guys. Well, guys, real quick, make sure you share this video to win some Wendy's voucher. I'm gonna take the picture right now with the 3 of us, post it on Instagram, tag your friends for a pizza from Orotaka. We're gonna do a part 2 with this. We're gonna go a little bit deeper. Ihmat, I see you're watching right now. You gotta make sure you text on No Filter so you claim your prize from last week. All right, don't mess up. Guys, thanks for watching. We will see y'all back next week. Peace.
Ow, thank you so much. And watch the video I just posted on No Filter.
What the fuck did you post?
What did you post?
Yo, no. Is it?